Once again, Knoxville sally forth from Rocky Top to face forward Madison in the city of Four Lakes. At their last meeting, the Mingos were comfortably 11 points ahead of the team from Tennessee. 4 weeks on, and the gap is now just 2. It's a matchup of 6 versus 7, both teams attempting to muscle their way across that playoff line. Here's a look at the standings brought to you by Dairyland Insurance. 6 versus 7. That line rides right between them. 37 points. They could go higher, Madison, but Knoxville, with a win, would re-enter the playoff picture for the first time since match day 15. This cannot be overstated. Today's 3 points are massive. Here's a look at our players to watch. First for the Mingos, in Jaden Onen, who had an incredible month of August. 3 goals and 2 assists, including a banger on the road. A guy who got a big impression in his first season. Of his 11 goal contributions, he has 4 game-winning goals and assists combined. He has just added another dimension alongside Christian Cheney in this front line. Watch out for him tonight. He is on a hot streak. On the other side of things, the man who's going to be trying to keep him out from finding the back of that net is Sean Lewis. Coach says he is the best goalkeeper in the league, and the statistics show it right now. 1.00 goals against average. That gives him the lead in the Golden Glove race. 7 clean sheets. Can he do it on the road in what could be the biggest game in Knoxville's history? Well, folks, this is one that is a massive game, a true 6-pointer. They're pulling out all the stops in Madison. They've got the marching band. They've got Leonella Bessie. Everyone is on hand for this 6-pointer from Dane County. We'll bring it to you when we come back. Tonight's match brought to you by Dairyland.
Come see how Dairyland fits your life. With affordable car insurance that fits your budget and 24/7 customer service that fits your schedule. Even if you have coverage lapses or a bumpy driving history, we've got you covered. For 70 years, we've been helping people just like you get the car insurance they need. So why wait? Contact Dairyland today.
For a warm and inviting space to grab a quick meal or gathering the whole family, come into Gooseberry on the Square. Our made-from-scratch fare that is delicious, satisfying, and healthy. Plus, we're serving up breakfast and lunch all day long. Be sure to stop in and craft the salad of your dreams at the largest salad bar on the Square, featuring 70 items and 2 homemade soups. Gooseberry on the Square, open 5 days a week from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Stop on in today.
Tonight's Dental Health Associates fans of the game is Andreas Gudino. Thank you for going full Mingo. Tonight's match brought to you by Dairyland Insurance. Out come the teams in a 6-pointer on the playoff line. Forward Madison, 1 Knoxville. Here we go again from Breese Stevens Field. Well, what a game this was. The last time these two teams met on this field just about a month ago. It was a game really that Knoxville feel like they should, or rather Madison feel like they should have won. We'll tell you about the stats when we get into the game, but it was one-sided as can be. Knoxville, though, managed to pull off an incredible victory on the road, winning 2-1 in a game that they really were just outclassed on the offensive end, but when it came down to it, they got the job done. An incredible victory for them. Here is the starting 11s First for forward Madison, brought to you by the Madison Concourse Hotel. Cheney, of course, up top with Gebhardt. Shipman is in goal. Brotherton's got to come in for an injury. Kroll and Payne on the wing have been getting a lot of output, so watch out for them. Onan, our man on the wing, so watch out for him as well. Ramos, of course, on the bench. We'll see if he factors in. On the other side of things, also brought to you by Madison Concourse Hotel, 1 Knoxville. Illich is back into the starting lineup. Lewis, of course, in goal. We'll see how this back line shapes up. Skelton McDowell remains in the starting 11, as does Callum Johnson. That's how they line up on the road. Well, folks, we are just about ready. It could not be more important. A game between two teams with 3 points on offer, but it feels like so much more. So here we go under the guise of the Capitol Dome on a climactic night in Madison. Eyes are locked on this showdown set astride a line in the playoffs. There is the whistle, and here we go. A great crowd, as always, has gathered out here at Breese Stevens Field. Dane County in Madison, Wisconsin. Between two of the most eclectic color combinations you will ever see. This beautiful sunset orange against the blue and pink of the Mingos. Knoxville through Waldeck. Boot along. On the chase for Keegan. Calixtro closes down. Cheney wins a big header. Rising up above Jordan Skelton as the pink smoke is released. This is a huge one because with a win, Madison could move all the way up into 4th. They've got it going for them, and NCFC are currently 2-0 up on Greenville, who they are tied on points with at 37. Can also grow the gap to the playoff spot, to that 7th spot, to 5 points, meaning they could lose a game and still draw. Here are your keys to the game, brought to you by Dairyland Insurance. For forward Madison, push for that first goal. They're in a bit of a tough stretch right now. Getting that first goal and preventing Knoxville from sitting back is going to be huge. And for Knoxville, they scored 3 goals for the first time at this season entirely in their last match against the defending champions, Tormenta. So if they can just ride that wave, continue that good momentum they've got building right now, they could put themselves into a good spot. Down to the end line. Gebhardt, now Kroll. Good defensive intervention by Johnson. Gebhardt. On the other side of things, 3 points would really help 1 Knoxville. Right now, they are not favored to be one of those playoff teams that goes the way of Madison, but 3 points would move them into a playoff spot for the first time since week 15. Would also open up the gap below them to Tormenta, who they defeated last week. They could also possibly sweep the series against Madison. 1 win and 1 draw so far. Outside for Payne. Winds up across. Good ball away by Skelton. Stephen Payne and Jason Kroll have been probably some of the most underrated parts of this Madison attack. 2 new additions to the back line, and they have contributed lots and lots of points. In fact, it's Stephen Payne's best offensive season. That ball is chipped in for an easy grab of Sean Lewis. 3 goals and 4 assists for Payne so far this season. Just a few players out today for both sides. Your injury report brought to you by UW Health Sports Medicine. Benitez Mel, of course, is a big miss. Martinez as well. And then Chrysler, of course, is a big miss. He has been out for a little while for Knoxville. In the end, I think both teams will feel pretty good about where they're at, given how they have struggled a lot recently with injuries. They've got a lot of guys who have been out that are back in. Fortunately, no Leonella Bessie in the lineup. You saw her in the cage in the pregame show. Told she's out with a pulled calf. Nazim Bartman. Thrown back in by McDowell. We were interested to see how this back line would come out for Knoxville. Would it be a back three or would it be a back four? They've kind of been teetering between two. Really, Madison has as well. Ball played into that outside channel. McDowell, the Hokies man. Brotherton. It's been a good period of play for Callum McDowell. He got his first league start in his first 90 minutes professionally in the last game, 90 against South Georgia. Continuing that momentum, rolling forward. One of the last players on this lineup to actually play a full 90. It's one of the things Coach McKeever was talking to us about in the lead up to this one. Problem that he faces, he says, is that he's competing with some of the best players on the team. They happen to just play in his position. So they've slid Waldeck over to the right-hand side and put McDowell in at left back, partially due to a little bit of injury problems. Also, it's so they can get as many of their best players on the field at the same time. We already have movement in the table so far on a night where there are other games that could affect the overall standings coming into this one. It's outside for McDowell, beautifully weighted, chipped in. Behind, who is it off last? It will be off a player in blue. And behind for our opening set piece of the evening. Forward Madison on a good forward run. But being snuffed out on the other end by Knoxville as Callum Johnson will go across to take. They've got the 5th most corners this season of any team, Knoxville. Johnson on his right boot, lofts it up high. Fired on out front, but Shipman is there. Anything could have happened when that left the foot of Danny Fernandez. Might have just been an opportunity to deflect it out front. Here they come. Gephardt down the other end. Skelton boots that one halfway back to Rocky Top. Here's the Austrian, Jason Kroll. Spent last season with FC Tucson. Offside flag is up on the other side. Two teams at very different points of form right now. Forward Madison come into this one winless in their last 4, including 3 straight losses. Almost the exact opposite of that. One Knoxville unbeaten in their last 4, including 4 wins in their last 6 games. Mentioned it at the top of the broadcast, but the last time these two teams met, which was on this field about a month ago, Madison were up 11 points on this Knoxville team. This time around, they're up by just 2. They only managed to pick up 2 points over that span of games. And really, while they still control their destiny, 17 points needed from their final few games. It really is all up in the balance now, and Knoxville can do themselves a huge favor. McDowell scoops it across. An inventive one. Did well to make contact, but it was always going to be difficult to steer that one accurately and bringing it down in the air. Over the top, hunting for Cheney. Skelton. Johnson along from Waldeck. Kelly Rosales. Just been a very unfortunate streak of games for Madison. From March to June, they had just 3 losses. But then after that month calendar sticked over to July, things have been turned on their head. Since July, just 3 wins. They had 7 clean sheets over that first period, just 2 since July. Clipped in for Cheney, up goes Skelton, and Lewis can snatch it out of the night sky. An incredible atmosphere here at Bree Stevens. Marching band out in pregame, blaring out the trumpets and horns. Just a swirling bowl of noise. 8 blocks away from the Capitol building, whose dome casts a shadow over this very historic field. A very historic night for either of these teams. Coach McKeever was saying that when they came into this one, they really felt like they were fighting for their lives as far as the playoffs go. They had to get a result. He says he feels like it's the other way around this time. They're in a good vein of form, and Madison are not. They are fighting for their lives now to stay inside the playoffs, a place they have not exited in quite some time. He expects them to come out swinging. Nazim Bartman called for the foul. Johnson and Waldeck stand over it. We've already seen one Waldeck delivery, or rather one Johnson delivery so far. Will it be the right foot of Johnson or the left of Waldeck? In by Johnson. Header along the line, cleared off by Shipman. Might have come off his own man there. Once again, Shipman having to come up. McDowell snuffs that out. Calixto. Three on 5 here. Calixto. Waldeck bombing forward. Skelton. Kelly Rosales. First time ball into Illich. Calixto, referee waves for him to get up. Here is his most recent opportunity. Best look of the game so far. We'll see who it comes off of last. It does look like it all is off the foot of Danny Fernandez, who had the opportunity earlier, just not a lot on it. Getting basically a toe poke. Trying to find its way past Shipman, so 2 early opportunities. 3 shots already for Knoxville. This was dominance for Madison the last time these 2 teams met a month ago. .255 expected goals. They only got 1. Knoxville had just .74. They were out shooting Knoxville 28-8. In fact, 28 shots in a game is the most by any team in the league all season. But despite those 28, 18 of which were inside the box, they were unable to find a tying goal. And so they fell on the night 2-1. It was a heated affair, 9 yellow cards. 14 shots on goal in total, 10 of which were taken by the Mingos. Coach Glazer of Madison just saying he really wasn't disappointed with the performance. He said a lot went into that one. There was already the injury problems, but he said despite everything else that happened on and off the field with that game, so they were really had their best performance of the season offensively, their best XG, their best shots total. So this time around, they just can't let those chances go missing, especially if they want to retain their spot atop that playoff line. Ball is out of play. Callum Johnson just booted it away, and he'll get a talking to from our head referee, Matt Gehringer. There were some controversial calls, to say the least, the last time these two teams met. Trapped down, one back by Illich. He's got the captain's armband today, turns it over to Cheney. Gebhardt dispossessed wonderfully. Mitch Osman. Payne. Trying to touch it to himself. Skips around McDowell. Stephen Payne. Was that off an arm? The referee says no. Did look like there was a trailing appendage there that just caught the ball on its flight path. Onan. Both teams coming off of 3-1 games, but opposite results. Madison went on the road and fell to Chattanooga 3-1. They actually led in that game, scoring in the 8th minute. Let a goal in just before halftime and ended up falling 3-1. Knoxville got a massive result on the road. They were tied on points with the defending champions, Tormenta. The win that they got gave them a 3-point gap, which is huge. It's also their first time scoring 3 goals. Gebhardt. Bartman tries to go over the top. Crawl on the end line. Centers one. Onan whiffs, and it's cleared away. Good opportunity for Madison. Just getting those balls into the dangerous areas. They had 18 shots inside the box last time. If they can replicate anywhere near that, they're going to give themselves an opportunity tonight. Johnson fending off Gebhardt. Waldeck, beautiful ball through the lines. Miscontrolled by Illich. Wheeler-Amanu. Brotherton. In for the injured Timmy Mel. It's a good option to have for a backup. A lot of experience at this level. Played for 2 seasons with NCFC in the championship. 44 appearances across those 2 seasons for the Kiwi. Big ball out of the back for Cheney. Onan. Calixtro. Waldeck. Johnson with the big ball. The offside flag will bring Keegan to a halt. Jake Keegan, who had the game-winning assist in that game against Forward Madison on this field. Also scored last time out against Tormenta. Saw a little bit of discourse online. Madison fans not too pleased with the celebration of Jake Keegan after providing that assist. Certainly got in the face of the fans over on that far side. Crawl. Settled down for Onan, laid off for Cheney. That's what this is all about. Those villains that you just love to hate. Those players that just drive you mad. Of course, Keegan actually spends a season with forward Madison as he tries to get on the end of this one. Good work by Payne. 23 appearances back in 2021 for the Minkos. 6 goals and 4 assists. His best season domestically in the United States. He is no stranger to this ground. Great ball through the lines. Payne's is offside though. It was a scything run and a pass equal to it. A signal from Payne saying just how close it was. Danny Fernandez. Johnson. Kelly Rosales. Thought about going over the top for Keegan, who's just ghosting on Payne's shoulder. Over the head of Calixtro, and no problem. The Philippine international Bern Chipman. He's already had to make 2 stops today. Born in Germany. Mother from the Philippines, where he is represented at the international level. Played in a couple of 2022 World Cup qualifying matches. Minutes and a clean sheet in the game against Guam. Owning now. Good work by Kelly Rosales. In full voice tonight as any other night for the faithful of forward Madison. They're just hoping to have a result to cheer. They have not been here often recently. The last 3 games have all been on the road for Madison, which has added to their woes. Thankfully, they're going to have a lot to cheer for in the coming weeks. Their next 3, including tonight, all at home. In 5 of their last 7 will be at Breeze Stevens. Clipped ball to this near side. Waldeck with the chest control. Johnson for Waldeck. 1 step over. Johnson. Kelly Rosales offering support. Good work by Madison to force them around to the other direction. They'll try the near side again. Johnson inside for Illich. Rosales. Waldeck first time to the back stick. Keegan. Centered ball, booted away by Osman. Kept in play by McDowell, and he'll draw a foul off Bartman as well. Well, it looked like a moment of miscontrol by McDowell to start. He just stays with the play. Is able to draw the foul. Matt Gehringer explaining himself to Christian Cheney. Cheney still dumbfounded. So it'll be Johnson or Waldeck again. Johnson's deliveries so far have been good, and the 2 set pieces they've whipped in have produced opportunities. Deep line being held by Madison. Waldecker Johnson, who'll it be? Johnson's right boot, lofted again. Nodded along, and it'll be kept in play by Cheney. Jimmy Villalobos. Assist in the game against Tormenta last time out. Midfielder in his first season with Knoxville after spending 2022 with Chattanooga. Made that inspirational trip to the final, falling to South Georgia in it, down in Statesboro. Sean Lewis. Calixtro. Johnson. Calixtro holding up play, does well, wriggles through a few. Waldeck over the top, Keegan lays it off. Villalobos blocked out front by Osman. What a beautiful read by Waldeck, just to scoop that into the path of Keegan, who selflessly laid off the header. That is one worth looking at. Waldeck, just look at this ball. First of all, Calixtro to hold his ground, and then Waldeck scooping it into the box. And an important block by Mitch Osman. Beautifully done by Knoxville as both sides hunt their opening goal. That replay brought to you by Dairyland Insurance. These two teams are both historically stingy, but recently Madison have been leaking goals. They've allowed 4 goals on 3 occasions this season, all of which have come in their last 8 games. In their last 2, they've allowed 7. 11 goals allowed in their last 3. In fact, they've allowed 33 all year long, 11 of which, a third of their total goals conceded all year long, have come in their last 3. Coach Glazer saying that traditionally they have had that aspect of the game figured out. They've been good defensively. He said we've got to get back to where we were, back to who we are, starting with the defensive work. On the other side of things, also a very stingy defense in Knoxville. They've only allowed 3 or more goals on 3 occasions. Only allowed 2 or more goals on 9 of their 25 games, or 26 games this season. 17 times this year they've either kept a clean sheet or allowed just 1 goal. And anytime you allow 1, you're always going to have an opportunity to pick up points. With a man like Sean Lewis in goal and Jordan Skelton out front, anything is possible. But they have really built themselves on defensive solidity. It's kind of what Coach McGeever was talking about in that game against Tormenta. He said they knew that they were a really good offensive team, South Georgia. So that was where their best attributes were. He said so when they got the lead, they showed resilience to get the result. He said, but it was really the first time this year that he saw them show ruthlessness. They have these 3 R's in Knoxville: relentlessness, resilience, and ruthlessness. And he said this season they just haven't really been able to put teams away and show the ruthlessness required to seal up a result. He said, but this time around against South Georgia, they were ruthless. Waldeck inside for Kelly Rosales. Over the top looking for Johnson. Great control. Calixtro. Waldeck. Keegan's teeing up. Through the lines. Just not on the same wavelength. Wheeler Amanu puts it out. Another opportunity. It's going to be Waldeck this time with his left foot. All the set pieces so far have been taken by Callum Johnson. He'll offer the option short. Waldeck on his left. Set pieces have been dangerous so far for Knoxville. Whipped on his left, front stick, down by Cheney in a dangerous area. They'll go again. The big man won the header against Illich, but nearly at a high cost. Waldeck will go again. This time to the back stick. Villalobos watching it. Taken off him by Bartman. Here come the Mingos. Payne. Great work by Kelly Rosales, not only to break up the play, but win the throw as well. Kelly has just been remarkable in midfield, the real balance that they've needed there. Very experienced player coming in from the Riverhounds in Charleston before. Johnson. Illich. Kelly now. Trying to turn around the corner. Illich back with the armband. Was on the bench for the last two, but it started the previous 8 before that, so just a brief interlude. This Knoxville team are very good in this first half. As we get into the final 15 minutes, the fewest goals allowed in the first 45 of any team, just 12 all season long. Turned over. Keegan winds one up. An important block by Onin. Waldeck. Still no shots for Madison. 6 total already. 4-1 Knoxville. Villalobos. Illich for McDowell. And away by Payne. Kept in play by Cheney. Waldeck surveys the field. In 2022 with Greenville, where he joined in the summer, got 10 appearances in South Carolina. Actually had an assist against this forward Madison team in a 1-1 final result. Two teams enter this one with very different playoff odds. 85% chance of making the playoffs right now, Madison. Just 26% for Knoxville, but if the away side are able to pick up the 3 points, those numbers are likely to flip-flop. Knoxville do need results to go their way. They do not control their own destiny. Madison do. 17 points is their magic number, but the difficult part for them is that they have the second toughest remaining schedule. Bartman. Onan now to the end line. Gets across away. Flicked out front by Cheney. Not a bad effort. First shot of the evening. Those two really are starting to link up just at the right time. Onan, you can see, calling for it first time. A good scooped in ball and an inventive attempt by Cheney. Replay brought to you by Dairyland Insurance. Kroll under pressure. Kept in play by Gebhardt. Plenty of space for Macias, who turns it over. Keegan loses it to himself. Final 10 minutes of the first 45 from Bree Stevens. Cheney in deep. Gebhardt. %60 possession from Knoxville so far. 7-1 is shots. Cheney is offside. Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL League One in many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit www.us.select-sports.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. You can already see the tufted marching band making their way to the sidelines. Fans here will be hoping for a halftime show. Mitch Osman does just enough. Cheney's fouled over the back by Skelton. A yellow card out for Johnson as well. I believe that's for either blocking the taking of the free kick or retaliation against the referee verbally. First booking of the evening for Callum Johnson. Wheeler Omanu. Brotherton. Gebhardt. Wheeler Omanu over the top. McDowell calmly hands it back to Lewis. Here's Danny Fernandez. Started 7 of the opening 8 games. Has now started 8 of the last 9. He's getting not just more appearances, but more minutes. He's played the full 90 in the last 3. Owning to the end line. Stands one up. Too far at the back stick. Cheney. Now Payne against McDowell. Beats his man, stands one up. Same place as the ball that was delivered in last time. No one home. Wheeler Umanu, here he comes. Kroll drives one across. Fernandez was the man to beat it away. Madison coming on strong in these final few minutes. Knoxville the other way. Kelly inside. Villalobos. Calixtro trying to go right down the middle for Keegan. Final 5 minutes plus stoppage time. It's been a confounding season for Madison sometimes. Gebhard. And very good records against teams above them. It's teams below them where they struggle. Onin from distance. That'll be no problem. Don't miss a minute of the action in 2023. Whether your club is on the road or at home, catch nearly every second of USL League One action on ESPN+. The home of USL, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. Against teams in first place, they played 4 times last year. They did lose only on 1 occasion. 4 times they played the team in first, 3 wins. Their only loss on this field to Richmond in the final home game of the season, in which Richmond clinched the regular season. This time around, they've played teams in first or second 3 occasions. They have not lost. Times in which, though, they've played teams in 11th or 12th, which are the bottom teams, they've played them 6 times. They've won twice, drawn once, and lost 3 times. Half of the time that they play teams ranked at the bottom of the table coming in, they have lost. The best way to put it into perspective is against teams with a winning record, they are 4 wins, 3 draws, and just a 1 loss. Against teams with losing records, though, 5 wins, 2 draws, and 6 losses. Free kick taken short. Villalobos onto this near side. Kelly now. Can anyone go out and grab the momentum in this first half? Payne. Chip to safety. Controlled by Bartman. Through the legs of the nearest man, but lost to Johnson. Keegan lays it off. Johnson trying to escape the referee. NCFC still 2-0 up on Greenville in a game with massive importance here tonight. Charlotte has just picked up a goal against Chattanooga as Wheeler Umanu is fouled. Still hovering around that 60% possession mark for Knoxville. Out shooting this Forward Madison team at 7-2. A stark contrast from when the teams 2 last met here. Osman. Hunting over the top, Calixtro. Brought down wonderfully. Searching for support. Finds it on his left. Keegan back to Villalobos. Lofted out to the near side. Waldeck touched down with precision. Good work by Gebhard. Gets in the way of the ball and will draw a yellow card off of Waldeck as well. Yellow card number 5 on the season for him. Probably not needed. Down in the opposition's corner. Probably could have just let him go, but maybe he saw something we didn't. So now 2 players for Knoxville on yellows, Waldeck and Johnson. Waldeck has actually never lost to forward Madison in 7 appearances. 4 wins and 3 draws, but he's never been on the wrong side of the result. There is confirmation of the yellow card presented by Dairyland Insurance. Also never lost when he has gotten a goal or an assist in his career. 13 times in his career he has scored a goal or gotten an assist. When he's done so, he has never lost. At least at the professional level. He's a 2-time national champion at Stanford. As we get into 1 minute of Just Coffee cooperative stoppage time. Calixtro, first time, deflected in just wide. Calixtro coming very close. Opening up a corner kick, which will likely be the last opportunity of the half. Knoxville, as a whole, have been the better of the 2 sides so far. Their dominance has waned, but can they cap things off with a goal at the death of the first 45? Johnson in over the head of Fernandez to the end line. Good cross. And the referee will bring the first half to a conclusion. Well, scoreless throughout, but a game overall dominated by Knoxville. Still a lot to come in a true 6-pointer. Your halftime score brought to you by Just Coffee Cooperative. We got a lot coming up for you at halftime, so stick with us right here on ESPN+.
Come see how Dairyland fits your life. With affordable car insurance that fits your budget and 24/7 customer service that fits your schedule. Even if you have coverage lapses or a bumpy driving history, we've got you covered. For 70 years, we've been helping people just like you get the car insurance they need. So why wait? Contact Dairyland today.
I've always been a storyteller. I capture those beautiful moments, things other people miss. My health took an unexpected turn, but my care team put my needs in focus, designing solutions to support my ambitions. Now that's just a footnote in my journey, a small part of a story that's still being written. UW Health, remarkable.
Getting the exact vehicle you want is easy at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton. Come in and sit down with one of our sales professionals and build the Volkswagen you want. Pick all the features, order it, and then sit back and relax, knowing you're getting your dream vehicle. The best things in life are worth waiting for after all. Check out our selection online or in person. With new vehicles arriving every day, your perfect Volkswagen could already be waiting for you at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton.
It's halftime in Dane County, Wisconsin in this pivotal League One match. Let's toss it to the great Mark Schoenster for more on Week 26 action.
Two interesting matchups to start off Week 26 on Wednesday, starting at Werner Park. Union Omaha against North Carolina FC. Marco Milanese serves up a tasty ball for Pedro Dolabella to rock home, soloing his goal tally to 4 on the year. But just 2 minutes later, Nelson Flores Blanco picks out Golix Anderson, who will actually be the assister here for Garrett McLaughlin, who demonstrates patience and poise as he chips it over Ian McGrain to level things up. This was in the 9th and the 11th minute to open up the game, so what was promising to be a great matchup delivered early on in this affair. Then, right before halftime, Steven Dos Santos gives a crafty ball to Dion Acoff, who nods it forward, holds for a couple moments, then releases to Joe Brito, who celebrates before it even crosses the goal line. A tap-in finish for him. Union Omaha leading 2-1 going into the halftime break. Then in the second half, one of two critical errors for North Carolina is properly and clinically taken advantage of by the red-hot Owls. Dos Santos this time on the goal scoring end of things. The vet now has 7 on the season, while the Owls are looking for a record-breaking 7 straight wins. Then another critical error, the second one for North Carolina. The Owls begin combining, and on the end of this string of passes, back like he never left, Noe Mays to score his 10th on the season in his return game from injury. Now everything is going right for the Owls right now in their pursuit of history, but before this one concludes, we have some other history to make. Don't let Rafa cut inside with space like this. It's a fool's errand. He scores the 453rd goal of the season, which makes it the highest scoring year in league history with still a whole month to go. Then in added time, the top of the table won't go down quietly. Preston Pop taps this one in, but it's going to be too little, too late. 4-3 Union Omaha, and Dom Casciato claim 3 points, a League One record, and temporarily sit in second place. And what I mean by temporary is, well, about an hour. North Colorado looking for payback against Lexington after the thriller that was their last meeting between these two. And look at Marky Hernandez putting that one in on the service from Billy King. And then in the 43rd minute, you know the drill, it's Arthur Rogers territory, but this time he doesn't get the assist. He actually gets his first goal of the season straight from the dead ball spot, making it 2-0 in favor of the Hailstorm. And then Marky Hernandez already has a goal. Now he wants to an assist. And this ball just keeps trickling and trickling along until it finds Noah Powder, who blasts it home. But as this Hailstorm team knows, the boys from the Bluegrass State never fold. Hila Dlamini is able to approach, and he earns the deflection, just gets by the keeper to make it 3-1. Then in the 87th minute, Owen Green finds Khalid Balagoon, who finds a cleat inside the 18, drawing the penalty, and you already know Don Smart is going to step up and put it into the back of the net. 3-2, your final score line, much like North Carolina. The comeback falls short, and the Hailstorm reclaim second place in the league over Omaha on goal differential. Now let's channel my inner Steve Kornacki here. Let's look at the playoff odds for the top 6 teams in USL League One will be the ones who advance on to the playoffs. One Knoxville, really the only aggressors. I think the more interesting conversation will be, where do those top 6 teams seed themselves by the end of the regular season, especially those top 3, Omaha, the Hailstorm, North Carolina FC, all vying for number 1, vying for those top 2 spots to get buys. It's going to be pivotal at the end of the season. Could be the difference between a champion and getting eliminated on the road. We're going to step aside now for a quick break. Now this from the USL.
Goes topics. I mean, yeah, let's talk about today we're going to go topics.
Roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to Sirius XM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What? What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on Sirius XM.
What?
This is how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it.
What?
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Well, what an introduction that was to Portland, Maine. Welcome to Forest City. I cannot wait to see professional soccer up in New England get bigger and bigger. Portland, Maine's the perfect place for it. They'll be playing at Fitzpatrick Stadium, and they'll kick off in 2025. We may see this man coming up soon. Will he come out as Ozzy Ramos, who rejoins his Central Valley teammate Christian Chaney after joining from Central Valley? Will he factor in the second half? And then our player of the week, Noah Powder, 1 goal and 2 assists. Here's how things have looked so far. The Independents picking up a win, moving themselves further up in the table. Greenville importantly lost, which is huge for both of these teams, which means that whoever wins will go above Greenville. Or if Madison draw, we'll go above them as well. That scoreboard brought to you by Dairyland Insurance. Here is our upcoming schedule. Northern Colorado in a hunt for the regular season championship. Forward Madison at home against the Richmond Kickers. That's a big one because they need to pick up points in that one. 2 teams facing elimination from playoff contingent, Lexington and Central Valley, and then NCFC in South Georgia as they hunt a regular season. Folks, more coming up for you at this halftime break, including the second half action. Who will take home the 3 points? Find out when we return on ESPN+.
Getting the exact vehicle you want is easy at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton. Come in and sit down with one of our sales professionals and build the Volkswagen you want. Pick all the features, order it, and then sit back and relax, knowing you're getting your dream vehicle. The best things in life are worth waiting for after all. Check out our selection online or in person, with new vehicles arriving every day. Your perfect Volkswagen could already be waiting for you at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton.
Come see how Dairyland fits your life. With affordable car insurance that fits your budget and 24/7 customer service that fits your schedule. Even if you have coverage lapses or a bumpy driving history, we've got you covered. For 70 years, we've been helping people just like you get the car insurance they need. So why wait? Contact Dairyland today.
You can't have the 4th of July without fireworks. They go hand in hand like hammocks and sunshine, like sprinklers and laughter, like backyards and barbecues. And so, we at Festival Foods remain committed to bringing Wisconsin as many fireworks shows as possible. We'll light up the night sky like we always have, since 1991. Happy birthday, America! Visit festivalfoodsfireworks.com for a show near you. Festival Foods, we are Wisconsin.
WASC U12 Boys Purple are the Unity Point Health Meritor Youth Soccer Spotlight of the night. Thank you, Madison area youth soccer clubs, for your continued support. Here are a look at the first half highlights, what we could find for you in a game that was largely played in between the 18-yard boxes, but it was a good performance from set pieces from Knoxville. That was where they looked best. Danny Fernandez with 2 opportunities, one just before this, and then probably the best look here, where it was just through the legs of Brotherton and nearly found its way in. Calixtro with wonderful hold-up play, and then watch this ball just dumped over the top for Villalobos. Mitch Osmond doing what he does, being just a big player inside that 18-yard box, sticks out a leg to block it. That was another solid opportunity for Knoxville, who had a majority of the chances, though it wasn't only so, came off the leg of Brotherton and behind. Here are your first half stats presented by Rhyme. No goals, 8 shots to 2, and dominant in possession as well. Brought to you by Rhyme, a first half very different from the one we saw when these two teams met here on this field a little over a month ago. Forward Madison dominant on the night then, Knoxville dominant on the night tonight. Well, not often do you get a true 6-pointer. Today, it is truly that. 6 versus 7, an opportunity to go as high as 5th tonight for Madison. Knoxville as well. Knoxville have not been in the playoff spots since 15th week of the season. They are looking to get back in. Remember, this is an expansion team trying to make history, getting to the postseason into their first year as a League One franchise. Madison building, adding some crucial pieces this season, including that man, Cheney, trying to build to a crescendo here at home. A huge second half on the way. Mitch Osmond dumps one in. A good ball. Sean Lewis not convincingly. Cheney holds on to it. Bartman poked away by McDowell. Illich takes it off Cheney. And settled by Brotherton. I'm Zach Burley. Thank you so much for sticking with us through the break here on ESPN+. For those of you who've joined us from the other matches going on in League One, welcome to Breese Stevens, one of the most historic soccer venues in all of the United States. Opened in 1926. Played the first ever night baseball game in Wisconsin history back in 1930 against the California Owls. Used to travel around with their own lights. They would go playing across the country with portable lights and light up the field. This is a venue that has hosted all different level of sports, all different kind of sports, but now is the beating heart of a city that loves soccer. Payne now. Madison strong showing to start the half. Bartman, first time ball. Settled onto the right. Cheney, broken up initially by Johnson. Kroll makes the run. Waldeck gets there. Chipped into the back stick. These crosses have just been a hair too long tonight. Kept alive by the Mingos. Bartman fakes the cross. Edge of the box. Returns it for Bartman, who was on a tripwire inside the 6-yard box. Referee says nothing on the challenge. Well, anything could have come off here. Bartman doing it all himself, continuing his run. That's a tough one. I don't think it's a penalty kick quite enough from McDowell. There is a leg stuck out there, but it looks like he's trying to pull it back as Bartman makes contact. Well, for those of you without the context who are joining us in this second half, a win would take Knoxville into a playoff spot. 3 points would open up a gap for Madison below the playoff line. Also, bragging rights because Knoxville could sweep the series against Madison. Here's a look at the live standings. Greenville on 37. Madison right now with a point for the draw has gone ahead of them. Knoxville just below that 6th line as a yellow card will come out, and it is the second. It's Waldeck who's going to get an early shower here. It was a holdback in the first half. It's a holdback in the second, and a golden opportunity to pick up 3 points now for Madison. Well, you thought that one might come back to bite him. Here's a look at it. Just holding him back. That's a yellow card for sure. Very similar to the one we saw in the first half. Difference was the one in the first half was in the opposition's corner. He got a yellow card there. He gets a yellow card now. And it's the long walk of shame to the locker room for Derek Waldeck. His side are going to be down a man for almost the entirety of this second period. That's one of those challenges that you don't blame a player for making. When they bring a player down in those areas, it was going to be a free cross in open space for Gebhard. You don't blame him for bringing him down. It was the yellow card in the first half when he was in the attacking end, level with the 18-yard box in the attacking half. He brings a man down. That's the yellow card that really frustrates when you observe this, because this was not the bad challenge. It was the one earlier. And that's going to have massive implications on this game. Knoxville have just been on a roll recently, seemingly unstoppable. 4 games unbeaten. Only one team in the entire league has garnered more points than them over this stretch, and that is Omaha. As Jimmy Villalobos, they're getting the signal for substitution here. This would be a huge double whammy. Will he be sacrificed here because Waldeck plays in at right back tonight? So someone's got to come on for him unless somebody plays out of position. So will Villalobos be going to the sidelines early as well? It looks like it. That is unfortunate, and you can see how much it means to Jimmy Villalobos. He has fought and grinded all season long since joining this Knoxville team. He scored the first ever goal in franchise history professionally with a penalty kick against Lexington at the beginning of the year. His heart and soul on the line for this team, and it's going to look like a night early for him exiting off. He's played all but 83 minutes all season long. This will be about 50% of the minutes he's already missed. So it will be a double substitution, one to replace the red card and one to replace Villalobos. It'll be Jessen van der Plaum, the Dutchman, who will come in alongside Jalen Chrysler. Excuse me. So there the 2 men are. Van der Plaum has not played in 5 of the last 7 games. Another one of those written off to injury recently. And then Jalen Chrysler He's likely going to slot into one of those defensive roles for Callum Johnson. We'll see exactly what the shape is when it shakes itself out. But we have to see out this set piece first. 2 men stand over it. Driven in, not in along, but behind. It was the flicked along header by Kroll, just wide of its mark. And now all the impetus falls to Madison. This will be similar in many ways to the game they played last time. Knoxville were under the collar in that one. 28 shots to 8. They were outdone offensively in that game. So now it'll all be reliant upon defending once again. Would look like a first 45 that held fruits for them offensively. The opportunity out shooting the team 8-2 to possibly go out and get a result. They could not find that opening goal, and now there may not be an opportunity to find one here at all. Kroll. Amanu over the top. On for Payne. Off the backside of McDowell. Dribbled out of play. We do have to inject a moment of humor into this one. Took a brief glance at Madison social media during the halftime break, and they posted a photo of the two teams lined up and said it's us versus 11 Winnie the Poohs. And I do have to say I see the resemblance. Doesn't mean I'm a hater. I love this kit. It is a beautiful homage to the incredible sunsets. Blue Ridge Mountains in eastern Tennessee. Now Madison will be looking for a result sweet as honey if they can get it. Much needed as well, as they have been sliding in the wrong direction recently. Wheeler Amonu. Owning now, plenty of space. Trying to chip it in for Cheney. I wonder now, how much longer do we wait until we see Ramos? He was just signed in this week from Central Valley. He's been playing consistent minutes for the Fuego, so you imagine he's match fit. Wheeler Amanu now. Through the lines for Payne. Can he keep it in? No, he cannot. Stephen Payne has been phenomenal since joining from Richmond. Had a great season last year. He actually won the USL regular season on this field with the Kickers. Last game of the regular season at this field for Madison. Had a goal and 3 assists. Was very good, but has added to his repertoire offensively this year. Best season for him on the attacking end with 3 goals and 4 assists. Forces an awkward clearance. Bartman brings it down. Cheney now just couldn't get on the end of it. And it's out of play for a Madison corner kick. This corner will be brought to you by UW Health Sports Medicine. It'll be owning to take. 11 goal contributions from the Englishman, 4 game-winning goals and assists. Can he provide a crucial one here? The onus is all now on the Mingos. They've got to go out and get the points, as there's a little pushing and shoving inside the 18. Yellow card out to Cheney. Desperately pleading that he was being held on to. He is claiming innocence. Chrysler, the one who drew it. Can he provide an all-important assist? Taken short for Bartman. Still be an awkward one to handle. Gebhard. Referee skips out of the way. Everybody remains forward. They've got to work it into a space to get a cross away. Onin. Still just beating around the bush, trying to find some way to dip the ball in. The referee's going to spot a foul. Cheney this time drawing it from Chrysler. It was those two who got tangled up a moment ago, and it'll be a yellow the other way now. Cheney the push before inside the box on Chrysler draws the yellow, and now Chrysler will get one of his own. Things just starting to heat up here. That'll make 11 yellow cards on the season now for Chrysler. Hasn't played in any of the last 2 games. Does have 5 of the last 9 before that, though. This may be the best opportunity of the night for Madison. 2 men stand over it. Will it be anyone other than Christian Cheney? They brought the big man in for big moments just like this. Will it be him or will it be Bartman? They signed him for a reason. Can Christian Cheney provide it? Will it be Bartman? Cheney it is, drives it into the wall. Referee's going to stop play. They were calling for a handball. Cheney immediately. The man is down. Fernandez helped back to his feet. And the referee's going to make him step off as well because the physios are on. This will be a big miss. So here's a look at the free kick left by Bartman, and Cheney just drives it as hard as he can straight directly into the wall. There were hints of a handball. You can see half-hearted appeals. That replay brought to you by Dairyland Insurance. Danny Fernandez had to receive some treatment, was initially to his feet, had to go back down because the physios came on. They do not want to be forced into another substitution, especially on the defensive end. Looks like he'll be able to continue. We'll have to wait out this throw. This game has become increasingly brokered since that yellow card. Second for Waldeck, as to be expected, and a team trying to see this out. Possibly sneak a point. Kroll with the ball in his hands. Short for Gebhard. Macias. Brotherton shifts it out for Kroll. Space for a cross. Macias rides one challenge, slots it through for Bartman. Against McDowell. Aiden Macias. Wheeler Amanu now on his left. Onin. Kroll in the box. Gebhardt deflected out front and cleared away by Johnson. Payne all the way back to Shipman. This is a Madison team who have been inside the playoff line since match day 13. In fact, they were actually first of any team back in match day 17. They had a fantastic middle part of the season. Since things have fallen off, they need something to get their season restarted. A win here against a team just below them in the playoff picture would be that moment. Wheeler Amanu, they're calling for it inside the 18. Lays it off. Bartman, square ball. Onan. Back for Krull. Onan now. Poked away by Lewis. Well, that was a looping ball. Clearly difficult for Lewis to read as he was scrambling to poke it away. This corner kick brought to you by UW Health Sports Medicine. Bartman, they have not been good from set pieces this year. Fewest set piece goals, fewest headed goals. Just 3 from corner kicks. Can they change the trend? Cheney forward on the goal line, and it's over by Osmond. A real solid opportunity for the Mingos. Well, these crosses have been a little bit too deep tonight, but this one falls perfectly to the forehead of Cheney. Great ball back across, and Osmond puts it just over. They're calling for a deflection off the head of the closest defender. No sympathy from Matt Gehringer. Starting to level things out in the shot count. 8 shots in the first half for Knoxville, none in the second. Chrysler. Kelly, great ball through the lines. Callum Johnson picks out a pass to the far side. Overlapping run made. And beat out by Macias for a rare corner kick. Jubilance here from Madison supporters as they try and see their team lift over a very difficult to beat Knoxville team. They're going to have to defend this set piece first. McDowell will take his time. He has really been building this season. Performance on performance, just 249 minutes coming into today's game as he has found his way into the starting 11. What an impact this would be. Left-footed ball. Chrysler goes up. Top of the 18, deflected. Keegan. Ship makes the challenge, and it'll be another corner. Heckled by those fans as he gives them some of their own back. The temperature dial just turned up a few notches in Bree Stevens. Johnson's crosses were delectable in the first half. Can he repeat that form in the second? Ball to the back stick. Goalkeeper stays home and will do it again from the near side. No, the referee, yep, he's going to give it the corner. Initially looked like he might point to the goal line. It'll be McDowell once again. Once again, set pieces have just been where they've looked dangerous. McDowell. Left-footed in swinger. It's a deep ball. Up go a few. Onan only as far as Calixtro. Calixtro dribbling through. Booted away by Brotherton. Well, this has been a much-needed retrieval for Knoxville. They were just from the opening whistle in this second half unable to get out of their own third. Pinned back, lose a man to a second yellow card. Just have not much looking forward. An incredible crowd has gathered out here tonight in the city of Four Lakes. 4,854 die-hard soccer fans in Madison, Wisconsin tonight. They got a brief boost with that second yellow card, but they desperately want to see a win. They've got to fend off a long throw deep in. Cheney goes up, and it's out of play. Yet another corner kick on a long bout of possession for Knoxville in the final third. They are just milking time off the clock. This period of 5 to 10 minutes has been crucial for them. Johnson goes again. On his right. Thumping header by Osman. Calixtro. First time ball. Shipman. No one knows where it is. Jordan Skelton tried the audacious, but for a few brief seconds, that was lost to everyone inside the 18. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights. As the ball enters into the final third. Settled back for Kroll. Gets his cross behind. It's just a goal kick. Picking up though. All Access Tuesday night, 7 Eastern. You can catch it on Sirius XM FC. Plus, you can hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more at Sirius XM FC 157 in the Sirius XM app. Double substitution, the first alterations of the night for the Mingos. De Silva will come on. We wondered if we might see Ramos. Not yet. We think he could be coming, though. And Mauro Sachero will come on as well. Pierre De Silva, another recent addition as they bolster this midfield. Bartman comes off. He looked good as an attacking option. We'll see what Sachero can do. De Silva has had a good impact since coming on. Coach gave him a lot of praise. Joined in from Miami FC last season. He just got here in August, so he's only had now 6 appearances, including this one. Got his first start last time out. 71 minutes played for the man from Port Chester, New York. Owning a muted impact on tonight's game. They still have not been able to really get things going. Only 1 shot on target. Last time out, they had 10 shots on goal. Word of a goal in Omaha where the Owls are up 1-0, trying to extend their win streak. Already set the record, trying to add another to it as they make history. Continue their charge to the top of the table. Well, there have been no goals tonight here This has been a season with a plethora of goals. Some great analysis by L&W Lower Leagues on Twitter, who shared with us that last season there was a total of 470 goals. Cheney inside, fires one away, saved by Lewis. Well, they needed a big performance out of one of these two men to make a difference. Cheney denied by Lewis. Fist bump as well, the sportsmanship there. Cheney just ghosting his way through the lines. That's what he does best. Coming so close, the best look of the night. Here they come from the corner kick. Pierre De Silva's first opportunity to influence the game. Osmond couldn't direct it towards goal. 2 opportunities now for Mitch Osmond. Back to it though. 470 goals last season throughout the entire year. Coming into tonight, we've already had 457. We're going to blow by that number before the season is out. Also, 9 players have already got 10 goals. That ties a record which was set last season. And 3 players are within 2 goals of 10. So we're likely going to break that one as well. This has been a year of unprecedented goal scoring. And the fans here at Breeze Stevens just desperately want one for the men in blue and pink. Another substitution in the wings. This time it'll be for Knoxville. Here will be that opportunity to make it. It'll be Gabriel Claudio. He's going to replace Jake Keegan. It was not Keegan's night tonight. Knoxville was not able to get the ball across the line. Despite their efforts in that first half, they still lead in shots on target and shots overall. Claudio will enter in. Here he is trying to get on the end of it. It's a push, though, on Gebhardt. Claudio, who started 3 of the last 6, has an appearance now in each of the last 8 games. That's the longest this season so far. Spent last year with Omaha. It's a long, bleak night for those Knoxville attackers in this opposition's half. There is that shot counter, 12-8. Most of those coming in the first half as Claudio will draw the foul and run more time off as we're now into the final 15 minutes here, plus stoppage time in Madison. This has not been an area of glee for the Mingos. They have the fewest goals scored of any team in the final 15 minutes, 3. But they also have tied for the fewest goals allowed in the final 15 minutes, 4. So it's an area they don't usually find joy in attackingly, but also they've been pretty solid. A point tonight, though, would feel like 2 drops rather than 1 gained, as they're going to spend almost the entirety of this second half a man up. They need the points desperately in a part of this season that has just been so difficult for them. A point for Knoxville, given the circumstances, wouldn't suit them too badly. Tormenta play tomorrow against Northern Colorado. That's the team directly below them. They did the work against them last week, which means they've got a 3-point gap. So even if they draw and Tormenta win, they'll still be ahead of them and below the playoff line by just 1 team separating them. Greenville would be on 37, they would be on 35. They'd be no worse off than they started the night. So for Knoxville, tonight is much less of a must-win than for Madison. They need to stop the rot, reverse the tide. Here's De Silva. He's going to be called for the foul here. Collision with Kelly. De Silva traveled around South Florida, Central Florida. He was at Miami FC in 2021 and 2022. Before that, spent a lot of time with Orlando City, mostly with their B team, but he did get 3 appearances in MLS. More time to run off. They're going to leave it. Claudio, or rather, Vanderploem, the Dutchman. A long history with Mark McKeever. Hasn't played 5 of the last 7. Trying to reignite his season. Deep ball in. Chested down by Cheney. Any calls of handball waved away. This is a roster assembled by Mark McKeever with a lot of guys he's familiar with. He coached at Young Harris, which is a Division II school. Ilya Illich was there with him, as well as Vanderploem. He also has a lot of guys from his time in League Two. Coached in League Two at the Mississippi Brilla, Des Moines Menace, where he won the League Two National Championship, and then last year with Knoxville, who started off their time as a League Two team. A foul. I talked to Coach McKeever kind of about that almost seemingly perfect build-up for him. He said, we brought in people we knew we could trust. He wanted trust over talent in this first year, so he leaned heavily on people that he knew from past experiences. So it's kind of a mixture of his previous locations. Knoxville is, Des Moines, where they had the backing of a big club in Italy, and Mississippi, where it was just largely community-based. So they're trying to fuse those two things and build something special. Payne to the end line. Dribbles it out of play. Well, things don't get much easier for these two teams from this point on. Madison hosts Richmond, which is another place that they've got to pick up points in. A team outside the playoff picture. Knoxville, on the other hand, have Greenville at home, which will be a difficult game to say the least. Here is the moment we've all been waiting for. The new number 6, Ozzy Ramos, freshly signed from Central Valley. Here he comes, his first appearance for Forward Madison. He's going to reintroduce himself to Christian Cheney, the two of them teammates last year. Together for the Fuego. He was really, really good last year, as the yellow card's going to be immediately pulled out for Claudio, who collided in the air. Madison players are asking for more as well. They're saying he stuck out an arm as Wheeler Amanu remains down. Clearly shaken up here after Claudio collided with him in the air. Here's a look at it. Yeah, it's tough because they were asking for a hand, just kind of an elbow stuck out. It doesn't look like that's as much as what it is. It's more of him kind of heading his head in towards Wheeler Amanu. I think a yellow card's probably about right. I think it was more than just trying to win the ball. There was a little bit more in it than that. Yellow card presented by Dairyland Insurance. And Amanu, just as much from the contact made with the player as with the ground, has got him shaken up here. Christian Cheney watching over. Coach said he's been a huge addition, not just on the field, but also in the locker room. He said he's the most vibrant player. He's always got the tunes on in the locker room. It's just a big boost. He said it's actually the biggest attribute that he's brought, even outside of the goals he scored, has been his attitude. So they really want to see him and how he can help on both sides of the ball, drawing attention in his hold-up play. So the thumbs up will be given for Wheeler Amanu, which is good to see. We're glad he's going to be able to continue as he's going to give his recital of the affairs to Matt Gehringer. I think he's reenacting it pretty accurately, just showing it was the clear move of the head towards him. And that's clearly saying it wasn't the elbow, it's just with the head. We're glad to see he'll be able to continue. Final few minutes plus stoppage time remaining here. Madison desperately need the points. A draw's better than a loss. They've experienced quite a few of those recently. But with a man advantage, you feel like they just have to pick up all three. Mitch Osmond. Wheeler Amanu, who's right back into the fray. Kroll now sizes up across. Great ball. Cheney rose up for it, and he's going to be called for the foul. He's on a yellow, so he's got to be careful. I believe it's McDowell who's down. McDowell remains down. The two collided in the air. This will be interesting to see because they're calling that this was a similar one to the one he just gave a yellow card out for. So it should therefore be a second yellow for Cheney himself. The referee showing no sympathy. Here's a look at it. Great ball by Kroll. It looks like he's just going for the ball in that one. There is certainly contact and is likely a foul, but probably not more than that. I think it's demonstrably different than the one we saw just a few moments ago. Here's McDowell. Knoxville have done a really good job since going a man down of just sucking the air out of this game. There's not been much to grab onto for Madison since that bright and early start. In fact, things have actually gone downhill since that yellow card came out. They had a few good early opportunities. Cheney's is the only one that really stands out since. Final 3.5 minutes plus stoppage time. Cheney on the edge of the box. Lays it off and fired well over. Mauro Sacchero wound that one up and fired it into a happy group of fans over in the rooftop bar. So they're starting a collection over there. Who knows how they got the second one. Cheney just limping a little bit. Sean Lewis trying to pad the stat sheet and continue his supremacy. The top of the Golden Glove race. Him and Austin Pack have been a league above this season. Statistically, he's got a slight edge. Certainly, those two are the best in the league. This would be his 8th clean sheet if he can hold on. A stark difference between when he's in the lineup and when he's not. He's played every game but 4 in July. Knoxville lost all 4 of those. When he's been in goal since May, they've only lost twice. A great period of the season for them and a great player. Wheeler Amanu into the feet of Pierre de Silva. Here he is. Osman tees one up. Flicked away by Fernandez. De Silva. Laid off by Cheney. De Silva blocked behind. Almost so. Lewis scrambling. And Kelly can boot it long. Calixtro wonderfully done. Precious seconds to run off the clock here. Another goal for Omaha. We are hearing the stirrings, the rumors of 11. You heard that right, 11 possible minutes. We've had multiple stoppages. We've had the couple of injuries. We've had the yellow card that came out, a yellow card earlier for Claudio that also took up some time. So Knoxville have done a good job of taking the air out of this one, but they're not through the woods yet. Wheeler Amanu. Dinks it out wide. Kroll on the overlap. Good work by Fernandez, but he gets around him. Gebhard fires one in. The first bounce takes off the sting. That'll be easy for Lewis. Confirmation for you. 11 minutes of Just Coffee Cooperative stoppage time. That gets a rise out of the fans here in Madison. Time is on their side for now, but they've got to make it count. These two have been locked horns. A line in the standings separating them. Can someone go out and break the deadlock? Find that winning goal. That would be all important. Ramos drives it in. It's deflected and behind. First real intervention on the night from the new man, Ozzy Ramos. It'll be a UW Health Sports Medicine corner kick, the first for De Silva to take. He got a goal and an assist in that 4-4 thriller against the Fuego in just his 6th appearance for Madison. One of the newest members of this squad. Can he make an impact? Drives one in. Cheney on the goal line. Would you believe it? Sean Lewis again. A virtual brick wall in front of that goal line. A man who just seems to be unbeatable. The legend of his prowess in front of goal starting to become the thing of myth. Another ball in. Cheney again rising up, away by Fernandez, and the foul comes in. The referee's discussing with his linesmen. They're asking for a high boot. The referee's gonna bring on the physios. A little more pushing, a little more shoving. believe it's what they're calling for, was the high boot. The referees had a chat about it and will pull out a yellow, and a second one it will be. Yet another second yellow card, this one to Christian Cheney. Yellow card to the bench as well. Well, their greatest goal scorer sent to the bench early. 2 red cards now dished out by Matt Gehringer. Both in the second half as parity has been restored. 10 men apiece to finish out this lengthy game in Madison. Chrysler is back up to his feet. He was the one who drew the contact in the second yellow. They were pleading for it earlier, just desperately asking whenever there was a collision inside the box. The referee didn't give it. Twice now he's gone to his back pocket. Twice giving out a second yellow. In the wake of all of that, he also gave one to the Madison bench. He's in a discussion now with Matt Glazer, who was the likely recipient of that. Could have been someone else along the touchline. And what an interesting final twist this game has taken. Will Knoxville come out of their shell and try and win it now? They've just been sitting back for so long, a man down, trying to run the clock out. That is a big hit. Clear retribution, and it is all kicked off here. That was a nasty, nasty one from Cicero. And this game is spiraling out of control. That is going to be a straight red card. 2 red cards in a matter of moments. Another yellow card to the bench for Madison. Cicero the substitute as the cards are flying at Bree Stevens. Look here as Cicero just goes flying in. It is nasty, a nasty, nasty challenge. A straight red. The 3rd time a player has seen the color red. The first time it has been direct. This has just devolved into pandemonium. We're going to go deep into stoppage time now. We've had 7 minutes coming off the clock, but I can't imagine we've played more than just a few minutes of it. This could be a game that goes well past the 100th minute. Well, we knew it was going to be a close affair. We knew it was going to be a tight affair, but I don't think we expected it to go this way Instructions from the sidelines now as Mark McKeever has a real opportunity. This was a game that just 5 minutes ago felt like one they had to hold on to see out 11 minutes of stoppage time and try and get back to Rocky Top with a point. And now they're going to make 2 attacking substitutions to go out and win this one. Incredible scenes. It'll be Frank Ross and Matt Vowinkle on a late double attacking substitution in the 98th minute of stoppage time. Well, Frank Ross had the game-winning goal against Madison in that meeting in August. He's going to try and repeat it now. Matt Vowinkle, the rookie, a prolific scorer for Hofstra at the collegiate level. Off goes Calixtro. What a good outing. But clear intentions from Matt McKeever. After spending all of this second half just holding on, trying to see out a result, they're going to go for it. They're going to give everything they have to try and get a result on the road and move into a playoff spot. This has been a roller coaster. A basically non-stop torrent of controversy, collisions, craziness that has been unending in this second 45 that is spilled over now into the 100th minute. De Silva. Are Madison going to try and pack up shop and see this out for a point, or are they going to go for it? They need the points desperately. They need a result. They need something to boost confidence. What's even worse is they're going to be without some key players next time out. They've got everybody back deep in their own half. We're into that 11th minute of stoppage time, but I assure you this game is going to go on and on. McDowell. Kelly. Kept alive. Danny Fernandez. Vanderplow. McDowell dumps one in. De Silva so good. Ramos under pressure draws the foul. Great work from him. There was some great statistical work done by John Morrissey, who looked at Ozzy Ramos last season with the Fuego. He was top in some of the most important statistics as far as XG, passes completed, through balls. He was just a machine in midfield for Central Valley last year. Continued his good form this time around as well. It's an excellent pickup for Madison. One they really need as well, as they've been plagued by injuries. He's just going to provide that generalissimo role inside midfield. Just a true passer distributor. Here he is. Risky play by Shipman. He's turned it over. Kelly now beats his man. Kelly lays it across and Shipman can wrangle it. Well, every last mistake could be determinative. One moment to decide an epic game, a true tussle. Ramos. Kroll now. Claudio puts it away. It's palpable in the air just how important this game is and just how much one of these teams wants to beat the other. Oh, bit of a mistake here. Gebhardt. Payne's in the middle. Emergency switch pulled by Skelton. In a rare set piece opportunity now, a man down. What can Pierre De Silva do from this UW Sports Medicine Health corner kick? Sets it down on the arc. Pierre De Silva. Whips it in right on the goal line. It's going to go all the way through somehow. They're going to go for it on the other side now. Somehow, no one was able to make a determinative touch on that one. De Silva jogs across to the opposite side. Yet another UW Health Sports Medicine corner kick. Well past the added 11. Who knows how long we've got now. A left-footed outswinger. They've got numbers forward. Up goes Kroll, and it's grappled by Lewis. And that will be the final whistle. A late intervention from Sean Lewis as the points are split on this showdown astride a line in the standings. A controversial night, seeing 3 red cards but no goals. Over 15 minutes of stoppage time, and the points are shared. What a battle between these two as we show you our Festival Foods man of the match. Mitchell Osman keeps the clean sheet. Had a couple of really good opportunities from set pieces. The captain picks up the man of the match award as they're able to keep a score of 0, at least on their side. Well, this was a game full of incredible moments, highs and lows for both sides. Very difficult to pick out that play of the match. Here it is. Brought to you by Dairyland Insurance. This save right here on the goal line, that was very early on to deny Fernandez. Burn Shipman just making the stop on the line. That is your play of the match, presented by Dairyland Insurance. Well, from one save to another, play of the match to save of the match. This was an incredible one. Cheney probably should have scored here, but it's Sean Lewis, everybody. You know what he does, and it's this, saving in crucial moments. Save of the match goes to Sean Lewis, presented by Dairyland Insurance. Well, folks, that was one that went all the way down to the wire. The points are split on the night. A controversial one and a lot to recap in a night where a point apiece is all they'll be able to take home with them. We'll have more for you when we return. Full time, 0-0, your score, presented by Dairyland Insurance. Stick around.
Come see how Dairyland fits your life. With affordable car insurance that fits your budget and 24/7 customer service that fits your schedule. Even if you have coverage lapses or a bumpy driving history, we've got you covered. For 70 years, we've been helping people just like you get the car insurance they need. So why wait? Contact Dairyland today.
Welcome back to Bree Stevens Field, where your final score 0-0 on a night with 3 red cards. That final score brought to you by Dairyland Insurance. It was a tussle from start to finish, folks. This one lived up to the billing, even if we didn't get the goals. Let's take a look at our full-time highlights to show you just how it went. Man, this is brought to you by Just Coffee Cooperative, a game that really came alive in the second half, but there were opportunities for both sides, both ways. Calixtro came very close, an important stop made by Brotherton. Then there was an early red card, second yellow dished out, and here came a great save by Lewis as they really grew into this one late on in the game. They had all the impetus in that second half to go out and get a result. Cheney had a couple of good opportunities. Lewis really, in the end, was the difference between a win and a draw for Madison tonight. A lot of late opportunities as they were trying to chase this one. Best stop of the game, your save of the match by Lewis. In the end, it was not enough to get past the brick wall that he has been all year long. Here's your full-time stats presented by Rhyme. They did manage to get their noses out in front as far as shots goes, possession as well. They had the whole second half basically to themselves. 3 red cards in total off of 6 yellow cards. A game that will go down as one with a lot of controversy, but still a lot of action. Well, we knew it was going to be a close one between these two teams that desperately need the points in very different parts of their seasons. It lived up to the billing, a tight one from start to finish. In the end, scoreless between the two. From myself, Zach Burley, and our incredible crew, we say thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Good night from Madison.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.